Hello, everyone who is menstruating right now, or will be in the next few weeks, or has ever menstruated in the past. Welcome to My Period Data is Mine. You have me, Daniela, hello, and you have Marcel.
Hiya.
For today, I will let Marcel start off the day before I finish up in terms of what has happened since last time, and quickly at the end reiterate why we are doing our project and why it is going to be or is important for the world that projects like ours exist. But Marcel, why don't you start us off, please?
I don't actually, from a technical point of view, have much to add, unfortunately. I haven't had any time to work on My Period Data is Mine in the last month or so. Hopefully that will change soon and I'll be able to focus more attention on it. But unfortunately, the last couple of weeks have been a bit busy on other areas. But what I do want to point out is that the privacy concerns around period tracking apps in particular, but general health apps is increasing. So people are becoming more and more aware of how these applications are being used to basically gather data about people and then sell that data on. And this is probably not what most people are expecting from their period tracking apps or health apps in general. So the one I came across most recently is from a recent discussion by the Software Freedom Law Center in India. And they put up a video, or basically a discussion, on YouTube on last weekend with International Women's Day. So they were tying it in with International Women's Day, but looking at what they call, the FEM apps in particular, and how they've been used to track people and gather data and collecting all sorts of information that's not required by these applications, from things like names and phone numbers and email addresses and social media profiles and friends lists, etc., etc. And it's quite disturbing when people become more and more aware of how much data is actually being collected and sold on by these applications, especially when they are told that, we need to keep the data to be able to predict your next period, you predict your fertility and things like that. And this doesn't need to be collected to be able to do that kind of thing. We can create the applications and the predictions and everything else, locally on the phone without violating people's data privacy. So it's probably something we can provide a link with in the description below in the YouTube video. It's good to know that more and more people are becoming aware of how critically important it is. And I still haven't found any other period tracking apps that are putting security and data privacy to the forefront. So that's a positive from our perspective, but a negative, from the industry as a whole.
I completely agree. The situation generally, globally, is not exciting, or not exciting in the right way at the moment, in my opinion. The geopolitical situation seems to deteriorate quickly, and so let's not focus on that. Let's stay positive. So, quickly, what happened since last month? Not a whole lot on this project, unfortunately. So the reason why we are doing this project was initially because in the US of A, the original Roe v. Wade law was overturned in the Dobbs decision when that went to the Supreme Court. And what that means is that abortion is not allowed anymore in many states in the US. So it's really, really hard for people to get an abortion. And I don't care why people want or need an abortion, because what that also means is that female reproductive health care, or short, female health care, is being hampered. And when I say female, I mean anyone who either considers themselves female now or wants to be female in the future, or has been female and would rather not be anymore. So anyone who is involved in the female topic, really, the healthcare for them, and that includes me, is being curtailed. Now, by my accent, he may realize I don't live in the US, I'm not American, so what do I have to do with it? Well, it's spilling over into Europe. It has been for a long time, and abortion laws are being curtailed and hampered across Europe as it is. We have Spain and, well, Poland, first of all. They have done away with abortions a while ago, unless the woman is about to die. Hungary is on the way there. Italy has a few plans in place at the moment. Spain hasn't had abortion. Officially, they have, but often doctors will not carry it out because of religious reasons. In the Netherlands, you now have to give a reason why you want abortion. And our friend, well, not friend at all, Farage, who made Brexit happen, he wants to do away with abortions in the UK. It's not a good situation. I live with endometriosis. I do not want to say I suffer from it. I live with it. And in, for example, the state of Texas, I could be locked up for a condition that I was born with. Not my fault, nothing I did to get it, but I could end up in jail if I tell any medical professional that I live with it, because it could mean that I have an abortion.
But can you explain why? Well, what's the link between the endometriosis and abortion?
In simple terms, a lot of women, the vast majority of people with endometriosis, won't be able to carry a pregnancy to term. So you may be able to fall pregnant, and if you want children, that's a really good thing, is that you still can fall pregnant. But the risks inherent with endometriosis are that quite often you can't carry the baby to term, meaning the likelihood of a miscarriage is just so much higher. And again, that's where the healthcare is really important. And if anything related to a baby that's not viable to live on its own, leaving the person's body, if something happens and it doesn't go 100% to plan, it's really important to have the healthcare. I was in that situation once. It was not a pleasant experience. I did have a miscarriage, and it's not good. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Nobody. It doesn't matter if you have a miscarriage after only a few weeks or a month or two, or heaven forbid, later on in the pregnancy, because it's a very traumatic experience. So, cutting it short, our project came about because women's rights and women's healthcare is being cut back, and that directly impacts me. So, we have decided to do something about it and create this period tracker. Initially, a period tracker. We do have plans to work on it further to add additional features for a health tracker, but initially, a period tracker that cannot be hacked into. As Marcel mentioned, a lot of nearly all of the period trackers collect data they don't need, and many of them are selling the data to third parties, and you really can't tell who ends up with your data in the databases and what they're going to do with it. So personally, I'm not using any of the period trackers that are out there. There are two that apparently keep the data on your phone. Given that I often leave my phone at home, I don't even take it with me when I leave the house, I feel a bit more okay with that. But if I had to take my phone with me, then I wouldn't be using them either, because I cannot trust the security of the phone either. So our project will deliver a period tracker that keeps the data on your phone. It is encrypted multiple times, and you encrypt it with your password, meaning we wouldn't be able to get our hands on your data. So unless you tell us what you have entered, we wouldn't know. And trust me, I would prefer the only person you share that data with is your healthcare provider and nobody else. Another thing to point out here is that given last month I have new symptoms. So yay, having moved to a new country, I now need to find a new gynecologist, and the next hurdle comes up. It's not only that women don't get the healthcare they need. Now the next hurdle is capitalism, and that is related to data being sold, because by now the system is such that you have to pay for everything. If I want somebody to speak in English with me, there's an extra fee. If I want lubricant to be used, there's a fee for that. If I want a mirror being used in my examination, there's another fee for that, even though in theory, healthcare, the insurance should be covering it. But no, just to book an appointment, I need to pay a fee to get an appointment. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. And that is one of the main reasons we have decided that our period tracker will be given away for free. If you want it, you can download it. We don't want money from it. All we want is that people like myself have a tool that they can trust and they don't have to pay for, because being in a situation like myself is bad enough. I don't need anyone else trying to suck me dry from another end. Again, because of something that I was born with and did not choose myself. Quick note, I'm very much talking from an LGBTQIA plus area. Personally, I think the divide between male and female, the gender stereotypes we're dealing with every day, they're very artificial. They're often used to keep us thinking about us and them. They're often used to get women to pay more than they actually need. It's quite often labeled the pink tax or pink and shrink, which means you make it pink, you make it smaller, you raise the price, you make more profit. It gets to me. It really, really does get to me. And again, that's why our product will be for free. It will be safe. It will be secure. You can do with it what you want. That also means that currently we don't have income from it. There are skills we don't have between the two of us. If you want to help us, if you think, yes, this is something you want to support, get in touch, contact us. You can help us either in spending a few hours making it look a little bit better, to be honest. I'm not a graphical artist and neither is myself. So if you want a really good looking product, get in touch. If you want to help with the programming, again, get in touch. We can always use another pair of hands. If you're good at marketing or getting the word out, again, please get in touch. If you have money, great. We'd like some. We really would like some help, just so that we can get the skills we don't have ourselves and get the product out as quickly as we can and get it over to you so that you can use it as well. I have the first version on my phone. It's not where it should be just yet. And as I said, last month was um, bad. Let's just stick with bad. New symptoms. People out there know how it feels if something's wrong with you and you don't know what it is and you can't get the help you need. It unsettles you, it changes plans dramatically at times. Next month should be more steady. I hope we get more done. And I also hope to hear from a few of you if you want to get in touch. We do run our emails by currently via, I can't say via encrypted channels because we aren't quite there yet. If you do want to get in touch via an encrypted email system, I will put the link down below. We do have emails like that already. We haven't advertised them yet because we're still playing with them a little bit. But I will put the email address down below. It's encrypted. We will never share any of your data. We will never share your emails. Feel free to use fake emails and fake names as well. Perfectly fine and happy. We will never give your details out. As simple as that. It's really important currently to make sure that people like myself, people like you, are safe and that they get the tools you want. One thought that I wanted to mention earlier, talking from a perspective of the non-cisgendered people. If you are a cisgendered woman and all you want to do with your life is to have a baby or two, fine. That's perfectly fine with me. It's great. If that's your dream, go for it. If you really want a child and you're planning for it and you have everything it takes to bring up a child, then go for it. I support you. But you will need healthcare as well. You will need doctors to look at you and make sure that you, as well as your baby or babies, if it's twins, that everything is fine with you. And again, period trackers are very, very useful for that. Now, heaven forbid you have a miscarriage or you notice that the baby stops kicking for a day or two. Go to a doctor, talk to them, make sure you're safe, make sure the baby is safe, and also record everything in a period tracker that you trust, or in a pregnancy tracker that you trust, because it's really, really important when you're talking to a healthcare professional that you have the data with you, that you can show, yes, this happened on that day and that symptom started on that day and then it finished on that. Being able to advocate for yourself is so important. So again, write down what you can about your symptoms, about what has happened over the last few days, today, and so on, and go and seek the medical help you need, and get it from people you trust.
And that's another area for my period date is mine, to be able to track that kind of information as well going forward.
Yes, ultimately, again, my opinion, and people disagree with me for a strange reason, but ultimately, every single person on the planet right now has originated in a uterus. They have come out of wombs, every single one of them. People tend to disagree, but currently it is not possible to bring a human life into this world without a woman involved or a uterus involved. It's as simple as that. So let's make sure that we help in our little way to keep that safe, to keep it functioning well, to keep it keep everyone healthy, and even those who don't want children like myself, to keep us healthy too.
Yeah.
Yes, as I mentioned, it may be a short one today. I hope we have more updates for next week. Next week, for next month. Third Tuesday of the month at 4 o'clock in the afternoon UTC. We have another time zone change from wintertime to summertime coming up, most certainly in Europe. Uh, I'm not sure where else in the world. I know the US has gone ahead already. Check your time zones. We have a link to a time checker there as well. As I mentioned, feel free to join us. Talk to us either on the call, privately. Stay as safe and anonymous as you like. If you want to join us in our little journey to produce something good for the world, you're more than welcome. I'd love to hear from you. And if you don't have the time but you have money, I'd love to hear from you too, honestly. Not trying to enrich myself, but trying to put something out there that people can use and that keeps people safe. Do you have anything else, Marcel?
No, I think it's important stuff, and it remains important, and it's becoming more important. So there's definitely something we need to work on and make sure it happens. Sooner the better.
Yes, yes. The sooner the better. Good. If there's nothing else, then I say thanks to everyone out there listening. Stay safe, help each other, protect each other, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye.